Oil changed the world forever. But at what cost? A mysterious black liquid that built empires, fueled wars, and decided who holds global power. In the next 10 minutes, you'll discover how oil shaped our cities, transformed our lives, and created the biggest challenge humanity has ever faced. So, before we dive deeper, hit like to support stories that reveal the truth behind our modern world and subscribe to keep learning the unseen side of everyday life. Imagine, if you will, a quiet corner of the ancient world, long before the dawn of industry. Here, a dark, viscous liquid oozes silently from the earth, a mysterious substance both intriguing and repellent. It pools in the crevices of rocks, glistening under the sun. This is petroleum, literally rock oil. For millennia, humanity encountered this natural seepage with a mix of curiosity and practicality. The Egyptians used its sticky form, bitumen, in the sacred process of mummification. Ancient Mesopotamians used it to caulk boats, making them watertight, and even as mortar for their grand ziggurats. Its flammability, once discovered, lit simple lamps, pushing back the darkness of the night. Inevitably, it also became a terrifying weapon of war, the basis for Greek fire that could burn on water. But for all its varied uses, its true world-altering potential lay locked deep beneath the surface, waiting patiently for a key. This black ooze is a form of buried sunlight, the concentrated energy of ancient life. Over millions of years, countless tons of plankton and algae fell to the seafloor. They were buried by time and sediment, then cooked by immense heat and pressure. This geological alchemy transformed them into crude oil, a fossil battery charged by a vanished world, a substance useful for millennia, yet far from powering a civilization. That would require a revolution in thinking, a leap of faith and technology that would turn a simple seep into a global superpower. Before the modern age of energy, the world ran on a different kind of fuel. The modern story of oil, or rock oil, truly begins in the mid 19th century, born from a pressing need for light. At the time, the world was lit by whale oil, a scarce, dangerous, and increasingly expensive commodity. The hunt for whales pushed fleets to the brink, and the high cost of their oil kept affordable light out of reach for most. But chemists discovered that by distilling crude oil, they could produce kerosene, a clean, efficient, and far cheaper source of light. Suddenly, the night retreated. Homes and cities could shine brightly, extending the day for work, study, and social life. To meet this new demand, Edwin Drake dared to drill in Titusville, Pennsylvania, in 1859, applying salt drilling techniques to a novel problem. Using a simple steam engine, progress was painfully slow. His endeavor was widely mocked as Drake's folly. Then, at 69.5 feet, the drill suddenly dropped into a crevice. By the next morning, dark, thick oil floated to the top. They had struck black gold. A frenzy followed. Prospectors rushed in, and boomtowns sprang up across America, forever changing the landscape. But the kerosene boom created a volatile and unwanted byproduct, gasoline. For decades, it was simply seen as industrial waste. That all changed as the century closed. A revolutionary new machine took shape, the internal combustion engine, which found its perfect fuel in that once discarded gasoline. The automobile age was dawning, Rock oil was tamed, and its unstoppable reign as the king of energy was just beginning. The internal combustion engine was a marvel of engineering. Compact and powerful, it turned gasoline into motion with unprecedented efficiency, a stark contrast to the bulky steam engines of the era. This wasn't just a new machine, it was the key to personal freedom. The age of the horse, which had lasted for millennia, was ending. Within just a few years, the clatter of hooves on cobblestone began to fade, replaced by the distinctive rumble of the automobile. Henry Ford's revolutionary assembly line put the automobile within reach of the average family. As cars became affordable, the demand for gasoline didn't just grow, it exploded. Soon, oil's power reached for the skies. From a fragile 1903 first flight to mail, cargo, and people aloft in decades. After the war, jet fuel ushered in the jet age. Oceans crossed in hours. Back on the ground, our world began to shrink. Personal mobility reshaped society as suburbs spread along newly paved roads. A whole new culture emerged, a landscape of gas stations, motels, and diners built to serve the freedom of the open road. Oil powered commerce and agriculture. Trucks linked factories to markets, while in the fields, tractors and harvesters mechanized farming, boosting yields to feed a growing population. The hum of engines and the rhythm of machinery became the anthem of progress. An entire global infrastructure rose to extract, refine, and distribute this liquid energy, a testament to oil's incredible energy density and its unmatched versatility. Chaos gave way to consolidation and immense corporate power. Finding, extracting, refining, and distributing demanded scale. Rockefeller saw fortunes in refining and transport, not drilling alone. Standard Oil built a monopoly so vast it was broken up. Its parts remained giants, joined by Shell and BP, the Seven Sisters. They laid pipelines, launched supertankers, and built city-scale refineries. Crude became fuels and chemicals modern life depends on. Technology pushed deeper and offshore into dangerous waters. Economic power translated into political influence. The hunt for oil became geopolitical imperative, shaping nations and markets. Oil's distribution was unequal. Demand in North America and Europe soared. The largest reserves lay in the Middle East. Concession-era extraction met rising nationalism and resource control. Producers formed OPEC, coordinating policy and gaining leverage. In 1973, embargo and cuts sent prices skyrocketing. The West queued for fuel, dependence laid bare. Access to oil drove interventions, alliances, and rivalries. Conflicts underscored oil's strategic gravity. Pipelines and shipping lanes became guarded arteries of power. The flow of black liquid is the pulse of global power. Oil's benefits are undeniable and all-encompassing. It heats and cools, enabling comfort in any climate. It fuels the networks that bring global food to our table. Beyond fuel, petrochemicals shape plastics, packaging, and devices. Medicine, fertilizers, fibers, asphalt, detergents, woven into daily life. A massive global employer powering development and infrastructure. But this bright picture has a dark side. Extraction, transport, and refining are fraught with risk. Accidents have fouled land, rivers, and air. Neighbors bear disproportionate burdens. The benefits came with costs we long failed to count. Hidden costs emerged starkly in catastrophic spills. Alaska, the Gulf, disasters that scarred seas and coasts. Wildlife perished, livelihoods collapse. Beyond headlines, daily combustion pollutes the air we breathe. Smog and particulates harm health in cities worldwide. Oil, coal, and gas emit vast carbon dioxide. CO2 traps heat. Measurements show relentless rise. Warming melts ice and lifts seas. Extremes grow more frequent and intense. The engine of progress has been overheating the planet. Facing climate reality, humanity begins a new chapter. Like whale oil yielding to kerosene, oil meets cleaner challengers. The question is no longer if, but how fast. Costs have plummeted. New generation is often cheapest. We relearn to live on daily sunlight. Electric vehicles challenge the combustion king. Batteries get better. Charging scales globally. Materials shift to renewable feedstocks. Hydrogen joins the toolkit. Cleaner grids, smarter demand, and efficiency amplify impact. Innovation surges with urgency and resolve. From a humble seep to global superpower, oil shaped our world. The next chapter is ours to write, powered by sun, wind, and human ingenuity.
As we move into the future, our choices will shape the planet we leave behind. If you want to understand how technology and AI are transforming our world, and what the future of energy, industry, and innovation really looks like, join us here at TechWise AI. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new chapter in humanity's biggest story. Because the future isn't something we just wait for, we build it together.